I would like you to introduce the panelists who are joining to this 30-35 minutes talk with me. I would like to start with Mihaela Kawisnka. She's the co-founder of Bloomcoding here from Moldova, a coding school online serving K-12 using AR, VR technologies to engage children. And she has been recognized for her contributions in the field of educational technologies, and she has been named a fellow in the Female EdTech Fellow Program by the European EdTech Alliance, and she has many other contributions here, which I'll not read out, but hopefully hear it from herself later on. I would like to invite Vitaliy Petrosyan, founder of LanglyApp here from Moldova. This is the first storytelling game for your smartphone, game where all foreign language learners aged 18 to 40 years can study. And he's also a board member of the Startup Moldova Foundation and founder of Langly, as I just said. And this has been named, or awarded, the Language Learning Software of the Year by EdTech Breakthrough Silicon Valley for 2 consecutive years, 2024 and 2025. Congratulations. We have someone joining us from Georgia, Irakli Vekua. Please come to the stage. He's the co-founder of King's Olympiads, and he has massive entrepreneurial successes from all domains. But he was also a co-founder of Paisera Bank, Georgia, which is the first digital bank in the country. So we can have also like a regional overview when it comes to EdTech. And I'm also pleased to introduce Mihai Soltan. Please, may I come to the stage? He's also from Moldova. He works as Chief of Staff at the Ministry of Education and Research here in Moldova. He has massive background in public affairs and Eurodis and TETOTRAC, so I'm pretty sure we'll also hear the public overview when it comes to EdTech. Okay, so before we had this session, we had a little briefing with all the panelists, and my first question I would like to ask you with you, Mihaela, how would you define EdTech? So there are so many definitions going on. What is EdTech? Is it the same thing to make a classroom from analog to digital, or it's something deeper?
Thanks for the question. Thanks for the invite, startup as well. That's a very good question, defining something complex as EdTech. Let's start with the fact that I don't think that EdTech is something that just transports the traditional content into digital, right? What we are looking at is a combination between, a creative combination between pedagogy first, then we go with technology, and lately psychology, and not the last. The best would be even neuroscience. And we're talking about, with the information we have now, the way we can engage children's brain into studying, and not only children, we're talking about adults as well. It can be for adults. We should definitely use it. And this is what we're doing as well with Haptilica. We are working to engage the mind of a child in their natural, how they learn in the natural environment, via movement, sparking curiosity, via movement, and literally experiencing the learning process. So I think, yeah, pedagogy, tech, and psychology. This should create something strong to redefine the way we learn, not only teach.
Okay, and Vitaliy, how do you engage the brain of the children? Mihaela put it. You're working in a field which has been pretty much the same for hundreds of years, perhaps, but you have come up with something completely different.
Yeah, actually, so if we are talking about the EdTech, the modern EdTech, we're not just, combining the technologies in education. We are searching for the new ways to teach, for the new ways to obtain the knowledge. And it's absolutely different because the new generations, they want to learn in a different way. And the most important, they want to get it faster, much faster than before. And this is something we need to provide these kids, these students. And this is what we are doing, actually. And this is what EdTech is for me.
So faster, but would it be also a deeper knowledge, Irakli?
I think in general technology is something which increases the efficiency it's not technology per se, right? There are problems which could be solved if there's a simpler solution and maybe not advanced technology is needed, then it shouldn't be used. But for me, EdTech is this technology which solves problems in education. That's how broad it can be. But with digitalization in general, it helps to enhance, like, just increase efficiency in the field. And with AI currently, it will be accelerated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will not jump to the AIs yet.
Let's go back to this technology, but before I would like to give the word to Mihai. So you said that we can make education efficient. What do you think of this from a public perspective, from the ministry level? We all know that the public, perhaps it doesn't function as fast as the business life, but this is something very hot when it comes to EdTech. So how do you see the ministry reacting to this?
Thank you very much.
To this trend?
Thank you very much. One of our priorities, of course, is digitalization. But going from MVP to escalation, we need a microscopic approach for specific age, specific period of the year, and specific, let's say, period of curriculum. And in the case of laboratories, let's say, we can start to provide simulations, we can provide, finally, laser cuts, graphic design equipment for the students. But now our next step is to teach the teachers, to train the teachers as soon as possible. For example, this summer, our plan is to train the teachers for our model school network, because we want to have a model class, model laboratories like Fab Lab, Creative Lab. It's the concept, for example, for creative industry to have the graphic design and sound production, even for middle school or high school. And
this model school is going to be here in Chișinău?
In all around the country.
Okay.
We are starting with 35 schools, the network of model schools. Mm-hmm. And this means infrastructure, equipment, and trainers for teachers.
And would you recommend co-founders such as those sitting next to me to approach you and the ministry, how they can actually enter physically or digitally, virtually to the classrooms?
First of all, yes, you are welcome to join us, but please be aware that the educational system, it's not, we can't approach it like a playground. We can test something, we can pilot something at small level, for example, and yes, the escalation. Well, I don't know, maybe you can share your experience in Moldova with Langly.
Yeah, actually we already have, I would say, great experience of collaboration with the Ministry of Education of Moldova. We are piloting with 150 schools here. And here I would highlight the support we've got from the Ministry of Education, and actually a very generous approach. And I would say that probably, we already have some experience of negotiating with different ministries in several countries. And Moldovan ministry is probably the most advanced one, because we have the general plan of integrating digital solutions on the national level. It's something is still new for countries for example, in Latin America. They didn't have something. Here, once again, great experience, great results.
For those who are not yet familiar with Langly, could you sum it up in like 2 sentences? What is it doing, the application?
In short, it's an AI-based Oxford English solution. What we've done, we've gamified an official course from Oxford University, and we are preparing students for certification. Mm-hmm. This is what we are doing. We're not just teaching English in a gamified mode. We are making our students confident that they will pass the certification.
So basically, it's learning from Oxford language book in a gamified way.
It's learning the classical academic course from Oxford University, but in a gamified mode with the help of AI.
Okay. In this case, and also in your case, Mihaela, how do you see the role of the professors, teachers? Because there's a huge, let's say, danger when we talk about EdTech. Oh, what's going to happen to the teachers? We will not need them. Would you agree?
No, absolutely not. Technology is here to empower teachers and help them, give them the superpower to engage children, and whatever we create with the teachers together. There is no way going into the educational system without working together with the teachers, understanding the needs firstly, because we have a lot of modern solutions that are expensive toys or tools that are actually not working. So this is why I'm saying the teachers should be the main source of truth, and we start from there. As what Mihai said, I would like just to add here a bit about the difference between treating education or educational system as a playground. I don't think anyone in EdTech is thinking like that or is doing that, because anyone who's entering EdTech understands very well how complex education is, why the regulations are so important. At the same time, we come with innovative approach that needs to be sustained. So definitely not a playground, but support in order to research, because we need to do it with teachers in schools. This is what I'm saying. Not only students, firstly teachers. So we need this support and this access in order for us to really build a product that enhances this experience. And the teacher is playing the main role in all this. It's just a tool to empower. We will never take away the human side or the human heart of the teaching process.
And Irakli, what do you think, what kind of things can be taught differently due to EdTech? So we discussed the English learning aspect of it, the use of HR and VR. How do you see what domains, subjects, topics could be revolutionized?
I mean, it's not new, but in general, the world, teachers are spending many hours on admin work in general, right? Which doesn't add the value to the kids. So first of all, maybe one of the go-to ways how EdTech is improving education is that it solves this type of administration problems for teachers, so they have more time to focus on what's more important, teaching, right? Even like assessments, grading, stuff like that is already and will be more done by technology in general. So most important part of the teaching, in my opinion, is the direct communication between teacher and the student, right? And everything else which is done after class work, let's call it this way, is additional burden, time-consuming stuff for teachers, which is not fun. Let's call it this way. Regarding the AI, it will definitely change many things, including class, in my opinion. And I also agree with Mihaela that it will not change, replace teachers, but what teachers are doing will be dramatically changed in 5-10 years to come, maybe even faster.
Let's talk about the near future later on. And just a question to you, Mihai. Do you think these techniques that are being used or will be used more often in the classroom would help also recruiting more teachers to make the profession of a professor, I would use the word sexier, but maybe it's not the word I should use here, but to be more, I mean, I'm a son of a teacher, okay, so I can say this. I didn't choose this profession, although I have huge admiration for those professors joining or meeting with children who have been students of my parents 30 years ago. It's just amazing feeling. But what I see in my generation that people do not want to choose this profession. So do you think this could change this trend?
Yes, of course. I think that, okay, the first challenge of the teachers will be to be trained and updated, usually. And they will still play a very important role in facilitation to adapt to every individual style of learning of every student, especially with special needs. And it will take time, but not so much. It will be a new challenge, like to make the students to understand what is good, what is bad, and what we should avoid during the classrooms. Okay, for example, now using the smartphone during the class are not very encouraged. But if the teacher says, let's use it for something, for dictionary, for a specific application, of course you can do it. And yeah, I can name it facilitators. It will be the same necessity of energy, vocation, and enthusiasm for a life learning process. But we will still keep them, and I really hope that it will become more attractive for teachers.
We do hope so, really, from the bottom of our hearts, that it's going to be like that. So we lightly touched upon the technologies. You mentioned AI. Do you see any other technologies in the near future, let's say 1 to 5 years, that could be as such a big force as AI is it now, right now? Any of you, just feel free to react.
I mean, AI can be bigger than computerization or internet was, so I cannot compare anything to AI. And I think it's very important to acknowledge it as fast as possible and familiarize ourselves with AI, because as computers and the internet changed basically every sector in the world, AI will change even more dramatically maybe. So yeah, I cannot compare anything to AI currently.
What is your, let's say, nicest dream when it comes to AI in EdTech?
That's a hard question to answer, because many people try to, but we don't know, because things are changing so fast in education, in AI, including education. So yeah, it's hard to predict. We already have AI in education. For example, basically last week, Anthropic announced and already launched AI in education. So you basically give the AI model learning materials, and it's already your teacher. You can ask and get answers and explanations from that, right? Mm-hmm. So it will be the first thing for sure. But yeah, what will be the next? Hard to predict. But LLMs will be more and more better every quarter, not even years. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Mihaela?
Just gonna add here, the thing I love about AI, I'm looking forward to it, is the possibilities it's gonna give to accessibility and personalization. I think this is by far the hugest value AI can bring. Another technology that we are using as well, and I hope it will be there, it's AR. And then we are talking about shifting the way we teach children into bringing in natural movement, natural curiosity, and AR can give that. So different concepts, complex concepts, like even geometry, let's say, the child can experience it in 3D in their hands. So I think AR has a lot of potential as well in reshaping education, the way it's going to work. I hope we're going to be the first ones to do it.
Vitaliy, anything to add?
Regarding the short perspective, I don't know. Really, AI is the headliner of the process. Probably in the next 15 to 20 years, I would probably put more attention on the neural link technologies, like, you know, uploading knowledge like in metrics, like I want to know math, like this, something. Probably, but we'll see.
Mihai?
In our case, I think that teachers will still keep the responsibility of developing the digital and critical thinking. And here we can't underestimate the power of AI and his generative and customization power. And about the creative process, maybe it will take a while. This is why we need you to create the concept, to take in consideration the neurodiversity of the people at different ages, and to be in touch with the fresh academic researches on neurodiversity.
Is any of you using an EdTech tool, except for your own, of course? in your free time as a hobby?
Yeah, sure. I'm Duolingo user for years already. I have a streak of more than 600 days or something.
Which language?
I finished Polish. I'm learning Turkish now, so yeah.
Nice, okay. Mihaela?
Goes same here, Portuguese. And I don't remember the name of the app, but I was learning to code with it. And it just slipped my mind.
Okay, so coding, language learning, Vitaliy?
Photomath.
Which one?
Photomath.
Photomath, okay. Mihai?
It was Duolingo,
Which language?
Spanish.
Okay, nice. Okay, so you guys are like all polyglots right now. Okay, so it's pretty clear which direction is mainly going, at least in your case, the kind of use of EdTech. When it comes to those sort of outside the high school system, so over 18 or 20, where do you think people should learn and pick up new skills? Besides besides language learning or...
I mean, AI tools already today are teachers. Like one of the things which already changed in my opinion, but it's not that already seen in public schools or public universities, that most important thing to teach kids is to how to learn, right? Because with AI already, AI tools which can search the internet, summarize things, etc., explain it to you as you want. Basically, if you want know how to learn in general, LLMs already can do it. Mm-hmm. And you might not like to read, right? Because we are lazy a little bit, etc. Gemini already can summarize things to you in a podcast way, so you can just listen. So there are already happened things which are, I mean, announced each week on different conferences, which already changed the life. Like, I mean, how I work today compared to 2 years ago is like dramatically different. I don't remember how I used to work without AI, right? So that will be the thing in education as well and in other sectors, in my opinion.
Yeah, concerning this one, there is like this huge Instagram meme that says, I can't even imagine how people worked like 20 years ago. They went to the office and there was no email. Maybe there was some paper with text on it, a message, they just pick it up and get back to it. So will the students, when it comes to either school students or adult students, let's put it that way, be lazier, and then technology will help them to become more or less lazy in a sense?
I think that what it changes, it makes people more efficient. Mm-hmm. For example, like today coders are minimum 30% more efficient, like senior coders, than 2 years ago, which is dramatically different. Does it mean that we will need less coders? I don't think so, because it just becomes new normal. Competition is still there, here, and it will be. So we will just produce much more. Problem and challenge which might be is that AI as digitalization in general creates value for maybe few, and people who can't adapt maybe
fall behind.
Yes.
Here something. They're not becoming lazy, and that's the thing. Now universities have this issue that the students are writing their papers, and the only way, we're not going to stop AI, and I think it's insane to do it, and we shouldn't. We just have to shift the perspective. If we can write things already with AI, in this case, we just have to challenge it. We just don't become lazier. You just shift the mind game, right? You don't spend the time writing it word by word, but you can challenge what the AI gave you, and you can discuss it, and you can see different approaches. So you're gonna use your mind with the new shift. So now we're not gonna become lazier, we're gonna become more productive, because I think a lot of the writing part, yes, it has its benefits, but in the end, it's what we're doing with this information and how we are using it. How we learn to chew it up, how we learn to create something out of it. Mm-hmm. So I think it's just an enhancement, and it's not lazier, it's just if the teachers will understand that and they will stop fighting it, but using it in the right way, I think we're just going to advance very fast and we're going to shift the game.
Okay, so I would like to move a bit now on the global level, regional and global level. So Irakli, you are from Georgia, the other participants are from Moldova. I would like to first start with Moldova. So how do you see this landscape of EdTech now in the country? We have heard that how good and strong the relationship was between the ministry when it comes to the LanglyApp. So how do you see Moldova right now when it comes to EdTech business landscape?
And about the Bloomcoding, they are also very present in Moldova. I'm really happy for this. And I'll go back to model school network. I think that it will be good, let's say, terrain, if not use playground. Okay, but we can use playground for specific startups and initiatives in education because we'll have the equipment, or we can look for specific equipment, but we want to have a model school. If you think that your startup, it's appropriate to be labeled as present in a model school, and you are the change maker, yes, you are welcome. Because in matter of digitalization, we worked also a lot in area of digitalization of the management in education, and this means the admission at universities, finally it's online, and the centralization of data and make it to increase the level of interoperability between institutions. This helps us to understand fast where we have a problem, where we have, let's say, incompatibility of necessities and the needs and offers, for example, the ages of the students, the capacity of the teachers. We want to have a visualization of the integral map of our school network as fast as possible to take decisions in order to avoid the risks. But of course, about the teaching process, Moldova it's taking big steps, I think, also regarding to results of international Olympiads at robotics. Congratulations to our team. And I was proud, and I'm still proud of the enthusiasm of our teachers.
Thank you. What about Georgia in that sense? How do you see the landscape?
I mean, most important challenge in Georgia, and I think in many post-Soviet, post-communist countries, is the aging teacher population or community, let's call it this way. There were some reforms in Georgia. For example, about 3 years ago or something, ministry offered teachers who were aged more than 65 or something to leave the job and get 2 years of salary right away. It did some change, but not dramatic one. But yeah, like problem is that younger people are not in the schools as a teachers. And okay, I can speak statistically here. We are conducting Olympiads in many different countries. And it's interesting that in mathematics, winners or like average results are very like normally distributed, statistically speaking, in bigger and smaller cities. While in English, all the winners or better performers are from capital cities or big cities. The only reason for that is that English teachers are better, much more in bigger cities, because yeah, like that's where they live. While English teaching has changed for the last 20 years, okay, mathematics in first classes are still the same as 100 years ago. So there are still good teachers in smaller cities who can be like 60, 65, but teach well, while there are no possibility to learn English in the smaller cities, right? Something like that. So these kind of geographical challenges are there. I don't know how to solve it. It's not easy for sure. But yeah, that's a challenge in many countries. I was happy to visit actually Pedagogical University on Monday. They hosted me and introduced me to this actually program of model schools in 35 schools. Also, they showed me the class which we have in 123 schools. The thing is that if something works well, it should be accelerated as soon as possible in every school, probably. But yeah, like I try to do my part of the job to promote education. It's much harder things what ministries should deal with, I think.
Maybe this could be used as a template or a roadmap for other countries. Anything to add on the global challenges you see at various conferences? I know, Vitaliy, you have been working or will be working more closely in Latin America. I'm pretty sure you have this global overview.
So as the global challenge, probably one of the biggest for now is the difference between the students and teachers, and I will just explain what I mean. So nowadays, students know more than teachers do. And this is the huge problem, really. So the one who teaches know less than the one who is being teaching. And this is the main problem right now.
But let me ask back, is it a question of who knows more or less? Or who approaches a problem or phenomenon better or a more efficient way?
The problem is in approach.
Okay.
Because students nowadays, kids nowadays, they are learning faster, much faster. And as I previously mentioned, they want to get the results much faster. They want it now.
Mihaela?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it from the startup side. It's very challenging to be a EdTech startup. With all the community I discussed from EdTech internationally, we are working with the governments, B2G, working with schools, is very difficult in time. Startup has to grow fast, it has to scale fast, while governments and schools don't go fast. And there is a reason behind that, and this is not only Moldova, this is general global issue. And we are ready to innovate faster than we are ready to adopt on the regulation side. So this is a difficulty for the startups. Yeah, we have patience, of course we do it, but our investors not really. So this is the moment where we actually hit the rock bottom. But otherwise, we are happy that in Moldova we have the openness and we have the support. I know not all countries have this type of open-mindedness, so I'm really happy about that and proud as well. So I hope this lean way of innovation will become available in education as well.
So one thing is for sure, it's a very tectonic moving landscape right now, either in Georgia or Moldova. We do see that the public works closely with business, which is always a good thing that we have concrete results. We do have challenges, whatever AI will bring or will take away. Then we have the problem of speed, of who knows more or less, and the question of critical thinking, of course. As a last question, because I see we have 1 minute more, I asked you this in the call, but I haven't yet from you, Mihai, so we have some extra seconds to think about the question. If you had a magic wand, and all of us here in the room should choose one application or tool or skill to learn via EdTech, what would it be?
With magic wand, I would give access to AI to everyone, basically, because like we should just adapt to living with AI.
Okay, Mihaela?
AI and AR as well. I really want to see us humans learn from movement as well, because this is a natural thing. So yeah, AI powered with AR, I think it's gonna be the bomb.
Perfect combo. Vitaliy?
You know, yesterday I had a conversation with one of the VCs, very big VCs, and the guy said me, you know, I have a lot of skills, but they are absolutely useless without English. So first of all, English, and then AI.
Nice. Mihai, and we have 4 seconds.
Digital skills tomorrow for teachers.
Nice. Okay. So thank you so much, Mihai, Vita, Mihaela, Irakli. Thank you so much for this panel, and thank you all of you for being here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This was excellent. You can leave those there.